now that we have our beach selected, it's time to start playing around with the road node and to get some parameters that we might use in the shading stage. Also give a bit more dynamic to this terrain. So let's do a mask clear. We have mask clear. Oh, not this one. Sorry, typo mistake. HF clear, mask clear. Okay. So now we don't have the mask anymore, but yeah, let's do like this. We can, there's a lot of, the thing is that sometimes I'm just thinking out loud. So the thing is that this beach, I want it to be very flat and without a lot of features, because we can have the features in the texture, in the material, but not in the landscape. So when I do the road node, it's going to road the whole thing. So what I want to do, I want to pick up these two nodes. I want to get this out here, and let's place it in here. So now what we have is back that mask, but then we can just invert this mask and increase the blur a bit, like this. Yeah, that looks good. And now we can just come back in here and do the erode. We have erode. Let's mask this. The visualization, let's computer range. I don't like to have this. What I like to have is a lighter shade on top, something like that, a bit less saturated as this one in the middle, and maybe a dark one further down like this. So I have this shading coming from the lowest part up to the highest part. We can't see it because of the mask, but let's erode and then we see what we get. So it's supposed to be eroding just that part, but sometimes because of the blur, the mask, and because the deposit that's coming, it's going to affect the beach itself anyway, you know. So I think that's enough. We have a bit of the erosion. If we would increase the resolution of the terrain, we would gain a lot of more details, but because this is in the background and I want to optimize our scene, we're going to keep it low res like this, with big grid spacing, not a lot of details, because it wouldn't matter anyway. So yeah, okay, this one looks almost, yeah, I didn't touch much on the beach, so I think we are okay for that. Maybe here, let me see it before in the mask clear. See, we have a better beach now, and here we got like all this deposit. So we lost a bit of the beach that we had. So what I can do now, I can just get back this this one. I think this one would be okay. Yeah, and now we can do HF blur. If we blur the terrain and use that mask that's coming from here, this mask, and blur it, maybe we can come from this one, the blur already. So now we can just blur this, and we're blurring just the part, this part. Yeah, we're just blurring the beach itself. So yeah, it's looking good. I like the beach. Yeah, I like the beach. It's awesome. So let's clear the mask HF mask clear. Now we have our landscape, we have the deposits. This is coming from the road node, the display. We have the water and we have also this debris. So if we want the debris to be like a light sand beach color, almost white, might look better. Just for visualization, we're not going to use this, but I like. Let's go back to our camera view and see what we get. So this is show everything. I like these big cliffs, these flat pitches. It's looking good. So now we have our back terrain. Oh, sorry for that. So now that we have these background terrains, what I like to extract here is some mask of the cliffs, so we can have like a grass. We already have the mask for the beach, so now we can just have the mask for the cliffs. So let's do this. We come here and say HF mask feature, and this one, I'm going to go away from the camera. Okay, so this one I want to have the slope, but I want to be more into the more vertical areas, like something like that. I think it's good. Yeah, that's awesome. So we have everything that's really vertical. We have like this yeah, big cliffs. That's great. I like it. Okay, so we can make it like more sharp, or yeah, I think we don't need to change that. So now another output, this one coming from here. So we have like this maybe, so we don't, this is just for extracting the masks. So let's do this BG cliff. Okay, it's the mask, auto remap, everything is good. So save to disk. I'm placing like low res map. For me is because this is not for a game, it's more for a video. I would say 2048 is low res. You need to think about your machine. You can make it like a 1K. I think it would be good enough for the angle. But for me, I like to play with 2K and 4K in the foreground, or even 8K depending on how close our camera is going to be. So that's great. I think we have everything from this terrain. Next, before we start playing with the shading, I prefer to start working in the foreground islands. So see you in the next one. Thank you.